like very clear.
I'm actually like, I'm not nervous. This is just a weird dynamic for you and me.
Why? I'm already the boss all the time.
No, it's not that. It's just like, it's cool. It's super cool that you're doing this, by the way. Like, I know I've told you. But
thank you.
Should we tell everybody that the books in here don't have any writing in them?
Okay, well, cheers first.
Salud.
I'm excited.
As Boobop says. Do you know the quote?
Cheers to us, to hell with them.
Here's to us, to hell with them.
Mm-hmm. Cute. Well, I'm going to go in and out of drinking my stuff because I have to hold this the whole time.
Okay.
So.
Me.
Like a little tiny bit.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny when we did the shoot with Benjamin Moore, they did the exact same thing. They're like, put your hat up.
Yeah.
You need to see your face.
That's cute.
Yeah, I hate wearing it like this, but my hair's crazy, so I don't really have any options.
No, I love it. Okay, are you ready?
Let it rip.
Okay.
It's your show, dude. I'm just on it.
Okay, so Luke DiBlasi, my husband, father of my children, love of my life, business podcast, listening connoisseur, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. wake up, marathon runner, should I go on? Owner of DiBlasi Painting. Welcome to Homegrown.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Okay, good. I have one thing to tell you before we get started.
Okay.
So this is going to be very professional, so you cannot flirt with me.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, great.
I'm just, honestly, before this, I was like, just don't make inside jokes because nobody else is going to understand.
No, it's fine. You can.
Okay.
You can. Nobody's really even going to watch this either. Most people listen to it.
I'll watch it.
So, all right, well. The other thing is like what's really cool is you and I obviously talk about like home life all the time. We have to do personal stuff all the time, business stuff a little bit. I learn a lot from you. Mm-hmm. But these are like genuine questions that I know the answers to some of them, but not like at length in which you're going to explain it. So I'm going to be learning some of this stuff for the first time.
Sweet.
So like I'm very excited for that. So first and foremost, let's kind of talk about like the evolution of Luke. So as a kid, can you kind of like describe yourself in 3 words, personality-wise, your interests?
3 words. Yeah, I do not have the best memory of like being a kid. Not that I don't have good memories. I just like don't really remember what it was like. I remember. So if I'm describing it in myself in 3 words: fun, competitive. Probably anxious.
Do you think that still like kind of tracks today?
I don't think I'm competitive with anybody else other than myself.
Yeah.
But I think I'm fun and certainly have some anxiety.
So. Okay, so you found one of your first loves at a very early age, baseball.
Yeah. Can
you kind of talk to me about how you found baseball, how baseball found you, and what it did for you at such a young age?
Yeah, so I remember like my dad would come home so my dad worked all the time, like, you know, like he started his painting company when I was probably, I don't know, officially a little bit later, but anyway, he was always doing like paint work on the side. So he would work like overnights or like 12-hour shifts at the wastewater treatment plant and then like go work more. So it was really just my mom around most of the time, like most of our waking hours when we were kids. But when my dad would come home, he would be like, you know, boob up. He's just like, yeah. So it's just like he never runs out of energy. But he was like that even more so when we were younger. He would mow like a lawn into the field or a field into the lawn. So we'd like drop the mower deck lower for the base path and stuff like that. So like those are like my earliest memories. I remember like staying up late one night because like David Wells had a perfect game through like the 6th. It ended up not being the day that because he threw a perfect game later that year. But like watching that with my mom and dad and Jake and Ange. And yeah, I mean, I was good at it. So it was like my dad loved it. He took the interest with me. We would do stuff together. My mom also, like, we all followed baseball back then. And big Yankees fans. And yeah, I was good at it. So like I remember being in like playing like an age group up when I was younger.
Oh,
like,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
So like when I was like 6, I was playing with like the 7 and 8 year olds or something like that. and then like move up to like Little League, and then you're doing all stars, and you're just, I was like, I went to a low D1 school, right? Like I wasn't like a phenom or anything, but I was way better than the other kids in town, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just like, it's fun being good at something, right? And it was something that I enjoyed, and that was really it. And so like, do you want me to go like kind of further down the line with that? Or?
No, maybe just kind of tell me like a little bit about like the friendships that you formed and like the discipline that it taught you, or like anything that it kind of taught you that you still like use to this day, if anything.
Yeah. So my college coach, the one thing that pops out of my mind immediately is if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late, which we pushed all the time. Me and Kluk have a story of being sent home. Like just got to practice and they were like, just go home. Then we had to run laps when we got back.
Were you on time?
Yeah, we were like there at like exactly 11 or something.
Yeah, so you were late.
Yeah. Johnny Jingles. But no, I think the biggest thing I tell guys this, like like a lot of times you'll see kids like selling like raffle tickets for their travel team or something. And I always just tell them like, hey man, the day I got married, 5 of the 7 guys that were up there with me are guys I played baseball with. So like keep those guys close. You learn to lose with people, and that's a big part of it too. Is like you get all the highs and all the lows, and you're there like raw emotion with 10 to 15 other dudes, and so it's just like you learn to lead, you learn when you need to step back, but like there's something cool too about just like winning something with somebody. Like as grown-ups, like we don't do that.
Yeah.
So like those emotions as kids, like that was the most important thing in my life at that stage, was that game that I was playing in that day. And so to like win that tournament or like have a great game or like hit a home run or whatever, like it's a super intense emotional experience, and it just kind of bonds you guys in a certain way. And then college was like that. We stunk in college. So
we'll get to that.
Well, the only thing I was going to say is like those same guys are like your family, like really, like they're your support system. So while it's so much on the field when you're younger, like Kluk and Pesh and all the guys that like I stay in touch with now still, Ryan and like they're your support system when you're there, right? And so like they're your family, they're your brothers. Like so you build different like camaraderie at that stage, but it's just that's so much of it.
Well, during part of that, a little bit before you found out you had Lyme disease, you also found out you had a tumor in your shoulder. You had a few broken bones throughout your life.
Foot twice.
Yeah, foot twice. Yeah, some surgeries in there and whatnot.
Yeah, screw in there.
Anything during that whole experience of maybe like injuries or anything like health-wise when you were in such your like younger years, anything that experience gave you that you don't think you would have had otherwise?
I think probably 2 things. We were just talking about it a little bit before, but like that, me and my mom, like I said, my dad's always working. So like me and my mom would do like all the baseball stuff together, right? So like we had a lot of time together, but I was going into 6th grade when I got Lyme disease. It was like during the summer, double vision, like could not go outside because my headaches were so bad. Like couldn't like look at a TV because like any bright lights. And so like me and my mom got to drive from like the end of summer to like the beginning of sixth grade, which is like a big deal when you're a kid because you're changing classes.
Yeah.
I probably told you this story, but I remember being at lunch the first day I was at lunch, and I just in my brain I'm like, yeah, we have lunch and then you have recess, and like, no, you don't. You have lunch, and I just remember being devastated that I was like done with my lunch, and I'm like, okay, so I can go outside and play in that parking lot because it was at AMS.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah,
I could sit here at this table and then go back to school. Like, this sucks. But so like that was a big period of change. And then I had like a PICC line in my arm from the Lyme disease, so I was going back and forth to the hospital for treatment every day. But like I can still like taste the plain cream cheese bagel that I would get a Coke. My mom would get a medium regular. And like we go to the same Dunkin' Donuts that's not there anymore. It's where the Walgreens is. But and like all those songs from that time period, like all like I could tell you in September of 2001 what like all the hit songs were on like WRV, because that was just, we would listen to that every day. So like that's a special time. But me and my mom are have always been. I mean, like we're just super close. So
Yeah.
the only other thing I would say is, and you know this about me, is like if I can't control something, I'm only going to give it so much attention.
That's fascinating to me. I just don't. That is like such a mindset that I wish I had.
Yeah.
I know we talk about this stuff all the time,
Yeah.
but it's like I feel like my anxiety comes from not being able to control anything, whereas like your anxiety lets go a little bit when you're like, well, there's nothing I can do to control this, so like why bother? Like we're so different.
Yeah, I mean, some of that's probably like me being a little bit avoidant as well, just being like, okay, well, if I can't do anything about it, I'm just going to completely let this fly. But it definitely gave me that for moving forward in my life, where it's like, okay, I can't control the fact that I had a golf ball sized tumor in my shoulder, right? It wasn't cancerous or anything, but like it screwed up my college baseball career.
Yeah.
Nothing I could do about that. Nothing I could do about the fact that like when I don't know that I was even thinking about it that way because I was 12, but like when I had the Lyme disease. But yeah, it's just like it's outside of your control. Just follow direction and just do what you can.
Yeah. Well, baseball took you all the way to college, UMBC, where you mentioned Kluk and Pesh. What was that kind of jump like, going from playing at home to playing on like a college level kind of field? And talk me through that experience a little.
I had a weird experience because I came in off the shoulder surgery. So like my freshman year, the first 2/3 of it, I was rehabbing my shoulder. So I didn't like have that immediate build with a lot of the team outside of the guys that I was like living with.
Also, not to mention you were a pitcher.
Yeah.
So lefty pitcher.
So yeah, I think and I was also like one of those, I was number one in college, and it was because it was the smallest jersey. So like I'm not a small guy, but
like number one, the number on your jersey.
Yeah, I was back. I was not the number one person.
Yeah.
On the team. But like, so everybody was huge, like compared to me. Like Kluk and Pesh, who are like Pesh is like 6'1", Kluk's like or 6'2", something like that. But they're both jacked. Like I was like this. I weighed 20 pounds less than I do right now. So I was just like tiny compared to all these dudes, and like not strong. And so like that was the biggest. I was just like, okay, this is a league above me here as far as physicality went. And but that was the big adjustment. I was just like, oh, all these guys are the best guys that I played anywhere.
Yeah.
And so
you were on like evil
playing
ground. Even playing ground. No pun intended, but really like you coming on early on in baseball and being like one of the better ones. Now you like were like, oh, I've like met my match. This is like real, like true competition.
Yes, 100%.
What do you think would surprise 18, 19, 20-year-old Luke about where you've ended up, or just like where you are today?
The interesting thing about me at that age is I didn't know forward thinking. So like I don't know if you did when you were younger, but like kind of back to the avoidant thing. Like it was just like I was there in the moment, right? So like helpful when you like need to deal with like something you can't control, not necessarily helpful when you're like dealing with things you could control.
Yeah.
So like I don't really, and I think that's one of the reasons why when I think back on stuff, I don't really have like a ton of memory of it because I'm just there in it, and I'm not like referencing it to stuff in the future.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that I'm sober now, I think would be unbelievable to 19-year-old Luke. And then, I mean, I always wanted to have a family, but I think young Luke would look at today Luke and be like, nice.
Good job. Hats off.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about, before we talk about kind of the genesis of DiBlasi Painting, you rarely have any free time for yourself between work life, family life, home life, running estimates, being on job sites, fielding phone calls, whatnot. The second you do have downtime, we can all find you listening to business podcasts over and over and over and over again.
They're not the same ones.
Not the same ones. Learning how to grow, learning how to lead, learning what's best for the people around you and how to make them also successful. What keeps you wanting to learn?
So I went through, so this is what sticks in my brain. It was probably 5 or 6 years ago. I was on a job site on a weekend, working for a contractor that we've developed a great relationship with. He had just bought this giant warehouse thing. He was flipping it into like storage units and like commercial rentals and stuff like that. And I was so sick of listening to like comedy podcasts or like Rogan. And I was just like, what I was doing took none of my attention. Like the physical painting was like, I could do this in my sleep, blindfolded, right?
Yeah, like wasn't challenging anymore.
No. So, and then I was just bored of that. And so this contractor had bought this place. And I just talked to somebody recently about some like real estate stuff. It was Noah, actually.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned a podcast. So then I started listening to real estate podcasts, which kind of led me into the rentals that we have, but led me into like business podcasts where I was just like, all right, if I'm going to be, because I'm somebody that kind of always needs something in the background, like full blown ADD. Like the amount of conversations I've had while there's also something in my ear while I'm also writing something down, like, but like if I'm going to be doing that, I should be using my time more efficiently. And that was kind of what kicked it off. And what keeps me going on it is like, I feel irresponsible genuinely when I'm not. Like we have, this isn't a giant company, but like there's a bunch of mouths that are fed off of decisions that I make. And so if I'm not doing a good job, or if I just didn't listen to something that could have given me a great idea or given me a way to manage something better, it's just like, well, then I'm not serving the people that like I've promised to serve in that case. And I enjoy it. I enjoy learning. I don't know other than that.
Yeah. Well, so let's kind of talk about the genesis of DiBlasi Painting.
Okay. I don't know what this picture is. Okay.
So given that your dad very early on started New Creations.
Do you want me to go in on the camera?
Yeah, show them. Show everybody, of course.
That's Mikey D. And that's little Luke.
Probably
4. I was probably just right around Bennett's age.
Now. Okay. So given that he started New Creations Painting and planted the seed of really high quality paintwork, do you think it was painting specifically that you were interested in? Obviously, you branched off on your own entirely, and we'll get into that of kind of where your dad stands.
Yeah.
Was it painting specifically, or do you think it was the idea of owning your own business eventually, or like talk to me about like the very genesis of?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, no, I despised painting for forever. Like, so my dad would like take us to work and stuff occasionally, or like would actually need an extra set of hands. And like a lot of painting is like requires focus. It requires attention to detail. Like I'm not that human.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like, so to this day, if I get to paint, like I want to be scraping and sanding and like come home dusty as hell.
The physical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I did not, I was not drawn to it in any way. What were the other questions? Sorry. That was long.
No, just so your dad started New Creations Painting. Yeah. What made you think, like, because I know you only had one job before. Didn't you work at the roller rink for a little bit? No. What was your job before painting?
No, I never worked at the roller rink.
What's your affiliation with the roller rink?
0. You're just making stuff that up now. Yeah.
What was your job before painting?
So I would help Tom with floors.
Okay.
And then I worked with Mark doing floors for a while.
Okay. So always in the trades.
Floors.
Yeah.
And then in college, I did a little bit of like, for like basketball games, I would like sell tickets or like do will call at the basketball games.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. So when did the seed kind of get planted for you where you're like...
Yeah, so to kind of get us up to DiBlasi Painting, while I was working with Mark, good friend of mine, owns a flooring company. My dad was obviously still painting. He was working for one big estate. And so he had other customers that he had built over time that would call him and reach out for stuff. And he couldn't because he was committed to working at this one estate. So some of those he would hand off to me, and and I would do it on like weekends and nights and stuff like that. And then certain people word would get around, and like, it was mostly like buddies of mine that like their grandma's house needed to get painted. Right. And so I was like, ripping down old wallpaper and painting, old cabinets. And it started like that. And then it just kind of started to snowball to the point where I was like, okay, I think Mark was thinking about moving and things were slowing down. And I was just like, I'm just going to jump ship and kind of do my own thing. So then I was really just kind of like working by myself. I would call my dad if I needed advice on something. I was stealing his ladders to go take care of stuff. And then we had a job where I did most of it. Jake helped out a little bit, my brother. But at the end of the job, we had like, I don't know, $1,200 left over after I paid myself $25 an hour and Jake $25 an hour. Right. Which like today, like, anyway, just terrible business. Well, no, like just today, like I say it seemed like a big deal. It was a big deal at that stage, but it was like, anyway, just put everything in perspective.
Yeah. Cause you're what?
22? No. This was post 25 at this stage.
Okay.
I don't know, 24,
well,
25.
2017
like
is when it was like established.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So it's probably like 25.
Yeah.
And I like threw my dad a couple $100 for like letting me use his ladders, right? Because like, a little bit of realization there that like I couldn't have done that without his stuff.
Yeah.
And then that happened a couple times, and then an opportunity came up with with Josh and Amy with Home Enrichment Company, where they had a giant new build with a customer that my dad had worked with in the past, and just like kind of all the stars aligned there, and they are to this day the best building company that we've ever worked with. And I just kind of approached my dad about it. I'm like, I can't do this by myself. So do you want to do this together? And he was all on board, and Jake kind of jumped in. I think Jake was still going to school, and like he wanted to become like a postman or something. Like, I don't know.
I thought he wanted to be a teacher.
He wanted to be a teacher, but then he was like applying at the post office or something. Anyway, Jake was all over the place. He had a lot going on. But so we did that job, and then that thing ended, and we already had a couple other things lined up. And that was kind of when it clicked from like just Luke and Dad tag teaming this job to Luke and Dad starting DiBlasi Painting.
Mm-hmm. So here we are nearly 10 years later.
Yeah.
Can you look back? What was the hardest year by far? Or if there were multiple years?
Well, I think most business owners I think most smart business owners have a lower tolerance for pain than I do. Pain, generally speaking. Okay. So, which is to say, like, and you can attest to this, it was like, wake up at 4 or 5, do an hour of paperwork, be the first one at the job and the last one out the door every day. Most days I would hit an AA meeting afterwards. And then I would come home at 8:30, 9 o'clock. We were living in Poughkeepsie at the time. Mm-hmm. And either just fall asleep on the couch like while we're talking or like get a little bit more paperwork done. Right. And then go to bed, and 6 days a week, if not 7.
Yeah.
So like the first 4 years were that. And I remember specifically, we went to a John Mayer concert with Nick and Kate.
Yeah. Nick and Kate. Nick Cavalry works for DiBlasi Painting, and Kate Cavalry is his wife, one of my best friends.
Yeah. So that concert started it was on a weekday, and it started at 7, something like that. Yeah. So I got home at 2:30 that day. We were living at Hoofprint at the time. Yeah. I was so uncomfortable. I'm like, it's daytime in the summer. Yeah. And it sticks in my head, walking through the door and showering at 2 o'clock and just being like, what am I doing? Why am I not working right now? So that was the level of intensity that the front end of the company took, right? For us to build from really Jake, my dad, and myself, and Nick came on very shortly after that, and then growing it to 8 or 9. Yeah. But again, it didn't need to take that. It was just, that's what I was willing to give to it. So when I look at what was the hardest year, I think that if I had to do that stretch over again today, that would be extraordinarily challenging. Yeah. And it just, you didn't need me then the way you need me now, and the kids need me now. Right. Right. And so my time was mine to give, and I just gave all of it. Yeah. So, Yeah, I mean those first like 3-4 years just.
Well, that's like very honest, and like being a decade in it, like for any new business owner or like tenured business owner or beyond, like the dedication, like it doesn't have to take that long, but like the growth that you've had and as quickly as you've had it. I mean, like 10 years is a long
Yeah,
time, but in the grand scheme of things too, like how quickly everything happened and every year you grow and grow and grow and grow. I mean, it's just like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if like on advice to young business owners, like Mulvey, who worked for us, who has his own plaster company now, did the walls in this room. So if you like, Meg will tag him in the what do they say? Tag him in the notes below or something.
In the comments? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
We're
that.
old, man.
This isn't a podcast. Sorry.
No, it's not a podcast. It's an interview series. Yeah.
But so like Mulvey, when he started his own company,
yeah,
like my advice to him and my advice to almost everybody that's like just getting their feet underneath them is say yes to everything until you can't say yes to everything anymore, and then raise your prices, and then just keep doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, until you're just so busy that it's
you have just say yes to everything and figure it out and fail. Like I did a floor installation one time. Like this was like $20,000 worth of like antique flooring. I had installed floors by myself a total of 0 times. Right? There was all this carpentry work. So it was for Josh and Amy. So like high caliber client, super, and literally picked up the wood in an uncovered trailer, drove through a thunderstorm on the way back. Just all this old wood that has not seen water in 100 years, just soaked up all this wood. It like trashed some of it. And then the rest of it had to sit inside the house. We had to tear it, like their house was torn apart, ready for hardwood floors to go in, and had to just stack it inside of their house while it dried out for like 6 weeks, and then bumble my way through. I did the math on it. I made like $5.50 an hour for like 3 weeks. So, but like, okay, well now I know I don't do floors, right? I try. Maybe it could have been a home run, like, you know, but it just wasn't. So anyway, it's just like fail fast and try a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that kind of ties into like knowing everything that you know now, business-wise. Is there anything you wish you would have known early on? Or do you feel like it's been a good, you know, slow pace kind of like learning? You learn and then you absorb and then you learn a little more.
I think it definitely needed to. I'm glad that it's gone the speed that it's gone as far as like certain things. I think the biggest takeaway this year has been in the last year, moving Jake into a project manager role and then Leanna jumping on board with him, was like the company will actually do better with less of me in it, right? And so like a common thing you hear from business books is like, I can't remember the guy that wrote this one book that it specifically came from, but it's about you need to work on your business, not in your business, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing both, right?
Yeah.
And then at some point I started sacrificing working in my business for working on my business.
Yeah.
But I still thought I was the best person to work in my business. And the reality was like, how much better do I have to be than the next person for me to be using 30% of my time and I'm still more valuable than somebody that's 100% dedicated to that same role?
Yeah.
Right. So like, am I 3 times better than Jake at project managing? Like, first of all, no, like he's probably better at it than me anyway to start off. But on top of that, like, no, obviously you're not. So like, step out, take care of your stuff.
Yeah.
And like in my head and probably in a lot of people's heads, right, is like, well, now I have somebody out in the field that's not making me money. And it's like, you're going to make that money back. Like the team's going to be more proficient. Yeah. Like more work's going to get done. Less balls are going to get dropped. Right. And you're going to be able to focus on growing the business. So if getting that earlier would have been, I think we'd be further along with more systems in place than we are now. But I needed to learn it. I needed to get it beaten into me slowly.
Yeah. Well, it's a good problem to have, to want to be so present in your business. Like, I'm sure I've been talking to a lot of business owners lately, and they say like a big problem that they had is really relinquishing control.
Yeah.
Because when you start something, you know the ins and outs of everything. And it's almost like I'd rather just, like, something breaks, you'd rather just fix it really quick because it would take you a quarter of the time or, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's got to be really hard too.
Yeah, it's just the realization you just can't do everything.
Right,
So
exactly.
I think Dan Martell has a line, 80% done by somebody else is 100% awesome.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, because unless you figure out how to clone yourself, then you could probably just do that for a living.
Yeah.
But like, you can't do everything in this business.
Yeah.
So like, you have to come to the understanding and accept that like other people are going to have to do things for you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm super lucky because I have Jake and my dad and Leanna now. So I have 3 people that I'm blood related to that all have the same amount of care in this thing that I do.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so who else has that?
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's like a cheat code for me. So it's like, I know that even if they screw stuff up, their heart was in the right place. It wasn't coming from anything other than that.
So let's get into that a little bit. In the very beginning, you were like solely responsible for the hiring and whatnot.
Yeah.
And today, you still have so many OG DiBlasi Painting employees.
Yeah.
What does that loyalty mean to you?
Yeah, I think to date we have never lost a painter to another painting company. So we've lost like guys to their big boy jobs. You know, like somebody will come and work after they get out of college and they'll work with us for a couple of years while they're, then they're going to get their whatever
degree, or
whatever
they're moving.
Exactly.
Right.
But so many of the people that, so I mean, like, Segretti's been with us almost 10 years, Nick almost 10 years, Dave and Leanna 7, like Mulvey left, but like to do plaster work. And then, even the guys, like we have a couple guys now, 4 or 5 years coming up. It means the world to me. So like, taking care of people is not something that's inherently common to the trades. Not so much me, because I had the experience of my dad kind of showing me the ropes of everything. But like, so many guys are like, the old timers, if you will, like the whole concept is like, well, you got to like really like give it to them hard on the front end. Like, the ones that make it will be good. And then the rest of them, like, screw them. Right. And there's not a lot of teaching. There was a lot of yelling. It wasn't like putting the next generation, like putting your arm around them and like, come here, bud, let me show you the way. It was like, get your ass in gear. Like, come on, let's go. Work faster, work harder. So we did not take that approach, mainly because I don't know why we didn't. I hate that personally.
Yeah, you don't
my dad is just like, you've never really seen him at work teach.
No.
But like, he's more intense and like, he will call you on your shit.
Yeah.
But also like, you're never more proud than when he pats you on the back about something.
Totally.
And he's not up your ass. Like, he just gives it to you straight. So yeah, I mean, we've built a culture of people that all want to be around each other, enjoy working with each other, and we take care of everybody, right? And so that means, like, for us, that means, flexibility with scheduling. So like, I can't tell you the amount of time somebody's like, hey, I had this cool thing come up, I'd really like to do it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Then I hang up the phone and I'm like, how are we we need somebody here, so, like, move the schedule around, call the customer. And it was like, yeah, because Steve wanted to go to, he just got tickets handed to him for a game and wanted to go see it or whatever. So, that's part of it. It's paying people better than everybody else. So it's like, same thing, like, just pay. My goal is to pay people as much as they want, or I'm sorry, as much as I can. So like,
both, like what they're worth respectively. But
I think that, like, okay, so we just moved into this new house. We have the shop on the property. We have the kids. Like, we're able to put some money away for retirement, right? Like, I'm done. Like, I don't need to make any more money than we make presently. So like, I don't, like, what I would really love? I'd love for everybody that's here right now to either be here when I retire, or I get to watch them retire. Yeah. Right. And like, to have been taken care of, to be able to have a career here and not just like a painting job. Right. Cause that's 100% not the industry standard, but like, I don't want to profit from like other people, like taking from other people.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I want to build this thing to a point where it can be profitable enough that like, people have careers here, And so Well, there's room for that still, like to get all the way there. Like we need to be better than we are today. But yeah, I love that, guys. Like if I get it from a customer, like great paint job, house looks awesome, I'm like, sweet, thank you.
Yeah.
That's my expectation.
Yeah.
Right. When I get from a customer, hey, the guys were so great, thank you. Like that lights me up, and those immediately go out in like the group chat and like. But to me, like the group of human beings that we have, you put them in any industry, they're going to stand out. But especially in the painting industry, which does not have the best rep, and you have our guys showing up at your house in the morning, and everybody's super friendly and nice and cleanly and kind and like speaks English and like easy to communicate with, like it stands out. And like I love those guys. That's it. I'll keep going if you let me. So
there is more.
Okay.
So you didn't give me, but you told me the single best piece of hiring advice. Do you know what it is?
No.
So this is like 4 or 5 years ago,
probably.
Who
are you hiring?
Huh?
Who are you hiring?
No, I'm just
saying
in general. You don't know yet. You really don't. As soon as I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah, done.
I don't know if you're gonna say hire slow, fire fast.
No, but that's enough. I've heard you say that before. No, it's.
Is it hire the skinny kid that you almost didn't hire, Ethan?
You have to hire nice people.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because you can teach anyone to paint.
Yeah.
But you can't teach anyone to be nice. You're either nice inherently.
Yeah, good people, I think, is more than nice.
Good people, right?
Yeah.
So like, where did that philosophy come from?
So I've heard that before from like Nick Slavic, who's like a big paint industry dude and like does a lot of. He actually just spoke at the last conference I was at. But it's like the good people principle, where it's just like, I can't teach you to be a good human being. I can teach you to paint.
Yeah.
Most people, by the way, not everybody can paint, which we've also found out.
Everyone can sand.
Yeah. That's true. When you run out of sanding, though. No, but I mean, not everybody's cut out for this industry.
Yeah.
And you can usually tell within a week. You're like, hey, we made a bad decision here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not here to change who you are as a human being, right? So like, I can't I can't change you, right? I spend more time with you than anybody else in the entire world. Like, I'm not going to be able to, maybe slight adjustments, right, over time, like we have on each other. Yeah. But like, I'm going to turn you from somebody who is a liar to somebody that's trustworthy, like very unlikely, right?
Right.
So finding good human beings at the core, like, so for us, that means they're good at taking criticism. They want to grow. They're kind. Like, they have a good head on their shoulders. They're thoughtful. They're good at problem solving. Like, okay, all that, and like just nice.
Yeah.
Right? Give me that human.
Yeah.
We will show you the correct way to paint.
Yeah.
But like the opposite, like give me the best painter in the world that causes problems all the time.
Yeah.
And we've had those people.
Totally.
When those people leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't even realize it. You know, like the whole time you're like, oh my goodness, this feels so much better.
Well, it's also like it's when you come to work for DiBlasi Painting, or you have a client that's using DiBlasi Painting, like, you're not just getting the beautiful high-end paintwork and the finishes and the touches and the wallpaper and like, you're getting the family element. You're getting like the friendship element. Like, you're getting so much more than just like hiring the next company, right?
I think so. Yeah. No, I think, so I tell customers is like, hey, there's two things at play here. There's two experiences. So there's the experience while we're here, and there's the experience after we leave. So like, I promise you that when we leave, you will be very satisfied with the way this whole thing looks, the way everything holds up, if it's outside, all that stuff. But the difference between us and the next person that can also do that same thing, which there are a couple companies around that can like perform the same quality of work as us. Yeah. But is, you know, what it's like having these people in your home. How organized is the information going from step to step, right? How clean is your house? Yeah. You know, how thoughtful has everybody been about, like, we talked, you know, we had a conversation with you about your dogs before we started. We had a conversation about your kids' nap times before we started.
Yeah, just very considerate.
And just, cleanliness. And then on top of that, also, you just have people in your house, right? So like, we just had the bathroom renovated, and like, luckily, like my Uncle Nick and Robbie were here doing all of it, and like, and Kurt and Lenny. And like, so we love all those guys.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody in your house like that, like
Yeah.
even if you don't want that person in your house at that moment, you're like, all right, like at least they're just good people. I don't have to worry about shit. I don't have to worry about like them being around the kids. I don't have to like, maybe, yeah, you got to worry about like somebody picking up a nail or something, right? But you're not worried about the human being at that stage.
Right, exactly.
So like if you have to have that experience of having people in your home,
Yeah.
where you get to hang out with people that I love,
Yeah.
like that I like hanging out with.
Yeah.
Because like running joke with people when I hired them originally is like I spend way too much time at work to hang out with people that I don't like.
Yeah.
So you just have to be like a good person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well-rounded person. Okay, so what do you think is a common misconception about a simple paint job?
So I'll tell people like there's a door off camera, but like I could paint that door and it could cost you $200, or I could paint that door and it could cost you $5,000. And so there you go, right? So it's just like there's levels to everything.
Yeah.
The challenging thing, I think a lot of the trades are like this, but specifically like finishing trades, like tile, painting, like drywall taping, stuff like that, is there are levels to the entire thing.
Okay, so I know somebody that's going to be watching this and saying, hold on a second, how do I get the $200, $300, $400 paint job on the door? I don't want the $5,000 one. What's like, and I know
What's
you're about
the
to like go
difference?
in it. How do you between the finishes, the actual paint, the method in which you're doing it, whether you're brushing it or you're spraying or, so tell me like a little bit about that.
Okay, so like, do you want the previous brush strokes removed from the door? There's the door previously got caulked in and there's like bubbles of caulk, and you want that cut out? Do you want the door to just be a standard satin paint finish on the door? Do you want to step the sheen up to a gloss? Do you want to go high gloss?
Right.
If you want to go high gloss, do you want to have it be like reflective? Do you want to be able to see yourself in the door? Do you want the door to have 0 brush strokes in it whatsoever?
Yeah.
Is it important to you to use a certain level quality of product, like a fine paints of Europe, high gloss, Holland lac? So like and then if we're going to do that top notch, well, that's 7 coats of paint on that door.
So when somebody's getting, somebody reaches out to you and they say, hey, we've gotten 3 other quotes from 3 other people. Can you come over and can you kind of give us a quote? And you're at the higher end of it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even go at that stage. So what I say to people like usually like standard procedure for people is like get 3 coats and then go with the middle one.
Yeah.
So if somebody calls me and is like, hey, I have a couple other painters to look at something, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind coming over to look at it, which also I think a lot of time people just say because they just want you to feel like you have to be competitive with pricing.
Of course.
Who knows if
I've
they got
been
other
in
quotes
sales
or
for
not.
20 years. I know how that works.
But I'll just be like, I'll tell you what, just get 2 quotes, assume I'm higher than the next guy, because I will be.
Yeah.
And then go with the higher of those 2.
Yeah, right.
Because like, and there's a reason for that. It's like a lot of the cost in painting is the prep work.
Yeah.
And homeowners don't understand that necessarily.
Yeah.
Right. So like I could paint this room by myself in 6 hours. Right. But if I had to sand down all the walls, rip out some tape joints, fix some stuff, fix some nail pops, recaulk the trim.
Right.
Like, and not every paint company is going to do that. Now, like any standard good paint company should do that. But then even beyond that, then there's levels above that.
Yeah. And you would hope that when they got the quote, it would include and it doesn't always, right?
Yeah,
so like sometimes people are like, wait, I got a quote for $200. And you're like, yeah, but it's $200 because they're not also stripping or doing, filling in nail holes or doing the.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, at that stage, I always just go, you should go with that quote then. That sounds like a good deal. You have my number. If you run into any problems, feel free to give me a shout.
Yeah,
always happy to help.
So when the
apples to oranges though,
right? Of course,
and it's
of course
the challenge. My job on my end is when I'm there with the homeowner, to express that, and to make sure that they have an understanding of like, hey, if you would like an extraordinarily professional experience with really good people and a really nice paint job on your house, and you're willing to pay more, we're gonna be best friends.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right? And if none of that matters to you, you should lose my number immediately. Yeah. Because I'm just gonna be more expensive.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. On the inevitable hard days, you wake up, you have to have a hard conversation with an employee, with a client, with whoever it is, or even you're driving down the road and you get a hard phone call that you didn't see coming. How do you handle that?
So that kind of goes back to like Jake and my dad and Leanna, right? So like I have people I can bounce that shit off of, and like problem shared is a problem halved, right? So a lot of times first move is calling Jake or Lee or my dad and just running it by them. Just kind of get it out of your system,
Right, exactly.
Start processing the information a little bit. And then like, so how do I like, you don't have an option. You have to, here's an interesting thing, right? So Leanna just started project managing for us.
Yep, that was like the next question.
Okay,
go ahead.
cool.
Let's dive into it.
So this is the cavalry's not coming. You have to solve the problem. Like that's it, right? When you own the business, you have to solve the problem. You can't hand this off to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? So if you screw it up, or if just for whatever reason there's a giant issue, if there's an issue with an employee, like no one's going to take care of this but you. So like you might not want to do it. Too bad. Figure out the best way to do it and proceed. You might not want to get on the phone. We just had a wallpaper job that has just been extraordinary. We've literally installed the wallpaper twice. Homeowner's not happy with it still. And it's like devastating to me. Giant job. Everything came out great. Like to have like for the cherry on top to be like rotten is like brutal to me. Like heartbreaking. But at the end of the day, like, okay, like you have to solve this problem. You know, whether you're solving it with money, whether you're solving it with a different solution, something like that, like nobody's coming. So Leanna was just putting together, we pulled some windows out of a house. And then when we went to go reinstall the windows, the hardware was like a little bit wonky and she couldn't get them to sit properly. And after like, like she tried a couple things, she called me, I gave her a couple suggestions. And then like the last time I was on the phone with her, I was just like, you'll get it. You'll figure it out. Right. And so no one was coming to help. I was like, this is your job.
Yeah.
You got this. Yeah. Like this is not an unsolvable problem.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And she did. Right. And so, but like your mindset shifts when you know that like the person that's waiting in the wings, there's nobody back there.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
yeah, it's you.
Solve it because it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
Right.
So speaking of Leanna.
Yeah.
So there's Luke DiBlasi.
Yeah.
Jake DiBlasi, who recently just stepped into part owner, but also
well, he's always been a part owner, but
production manager in addition to, right? And then you have Leanna DiBlasi, your cousin. You guys have been like this since a very, very young age.
There was a path through the woods from our house to her house. That's a good way of explaining the amount of time that we spent together as kids.
And you're 3-4 months apart.
Yeah.
So
4.
Yep. Mikey DiBlasi, and then you have Samantha DiBlasi.
Yes.
Who also does the books for you as well.
More than that. She does more than the books.
Yeah, way more than that, of course. So we have like 2 more business questions before we move on. But like, what does that mean to you, again, to have your family, your blood, as you mentioned before, working every single day at the shop? Like we could throw a rock.
It's actually directly through the phone on the other side. Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is like kind of what I talked about before is like there's a level of trust there that everybody's pulling in the same direction.
Yeah. So
it's just we're all there for each other, right? And so I know that instinctually, and Leanna knows that, and my dad knows that, and Jake knows that, and Sam knows that. Is like we're all doing this as much as we're doing this for the guys and for our customers. Like we're all also doing this for each other, right? That's definitely the big thing. I think the other side of it is like, so we've also had a reasonable amount of success doing that. Yeah. So it's like, it's been beautiful sharing some of that. Like, here's the best example I could think of. My dad was just gone for 7 weeks in Alaska. Like he will not be paid different this year than he was last year based on him taking those 7 weeks off. Like growing up, like I love my dad and he knows this, like he's terrible with money, but also just like, he's just not a business dude. Like, right. So to be able to put that guy in a position where it's like, dude, you just get to do the thing that you love and you're really good at. And that's like painting and teaching people how to paint. Right?
And he'll outwork anybody. It's just, he doesn't want to be in charge of like,
he doesn't want to deal with the money and the BS and the customers and the estimates and all that stuff. He wants to have his project and he's going to hammer it.
Yeah.
So to be able to put him in a position of that and to be able to like help in a way to, as much as my dad has been a giant portion of the success, like to be able to put him in a position where like financially and lifestyle wise, like he's living, I don't know that he would change anything about the way that he's living right now. And to know that like I was a part of that, that feels great.
Yeah.
Right. So like Leanna just moving up into this role, like she's making more money in the role, which has been awesome, but also just like the personal growth that I've seen in her in 4 months. Jake, like same thing, like to be able to share in all these beautiful like successes and all these problems. And just like Jake was like, he had so much in his life heaped onto him so young, that, and he's my little brother, so he also just pisses me off a little bit more than the average human being would, even if they were taking the same action.
As we should, younger siblings, as we should.
Like Jake's growth in the last year, but I mean, track it back like 3 years, you know, since his wife's gotten a little more sick, and like the kids and the amount of responsibilities that he's had, like just mind blowing. Mm-hmm. And just to get to be a part of that, to witness that, and then to also, like as a part owner, like to have him share in the spoils of the war, if you will, right? Like, and then Sam, who's out in California, who we don't get to see very often. Like we went and visited her, so like that relationship, me and Sam were always like, we were always like friends, but like we didn't talk much, right? Yeah. She was all the way across the country.
Yeah. Your cousin.
Yes. Yeah. And so like she has 2 kids that are similar to our age. I talk to her twice a week for 2 hours. Like it's incredible. And like, it just feels like the relationship that we formed in the last 3 years, 4 years since she's been working with us. And then to be able to provide her with something where it's like, you know, we just changed the meeting schedule a little bit, but you know, like Wednesdays I was staying up, you know, we would hop on our meeting at 9 p.m.
Yeah. Because
that's when her husband got home from work.
Yeah.
And then meeting would end at 11 my time, but it would be like right before her kids' bedtime, right? To have the flexibility to be able to help provide some income to those guys. And I say provide income to them. Sam's does so much, like so integral to this company running. Yeah. But to be able to provide that with the flexibility that she needs, and to know that like she's getting a purpose out of that, like she feels like she's part of something. She is part of something. Yeah. Because of the success that we've had, and my own willingness to just like be flexible, like we were talking about before, with like employee retention. Yeah. But it's been really cool. It's just been such a blessing.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up like the business portion of it and go into personal kind of stuff.
Do you want me to roast every single employee on camera right
We're
now?
Going to get to it. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. Can you just tell everyone really quickly, like the services that you offer in addition to paint, interior, exterior, everything?
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start outside. So we do exterior painting. So that's anything on the outside of a house that's painted, we paint it. Mm-hmm. So we'll wash houses, paint them, we clean roofs, we'll do pressure washing and stuff like that as well. Mm-hmm. Inside is a little more expansive. We do general interior painting, we'll do drywall repair, wallpaper, plaster finishes, high gloss finishes. And then the biggest thing that I always tell customers is like, call me, or anybody that's watching this. Like if you need something done at your house and it's not painting, call me. Yeah. Because like I could give you 3 great electricians that I've seen do work on 30 different projects with very happy customers. Yeah. Plumbers, landscaper. Like I've been around all these guys and like I can't tell you the amount of times that I've either seen work done in somebody's house that's like yikes, or like the time we've been the 2nd or 3rd painter on a job. Yeah. So it's just like, just reach out, because like we have a document of everybody's name in it.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah. Sam did it.
Well, yay! You've been talking about doing that for a while.
Exactly.
I'm so happy for you. That's really cool. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so are you ready for speed round?
Speed round. Okay.
So DiBlasi Painting, who's most likely to? So like superlatives kind of.
All right. Okay. So we'll send this to the guys right after.
Okay, I'll clip it. Who on the team is most likely to forget their paintbrushes on a job site?
Dave.
Who on the team is most likely to drop their phone in a paint can?
That sounds like something I would do, honestly. I'm going to take
Okay,
credit
fair.
on that one.
Most likely to call you on a weekend just to chat. Speed round.
Yeah, Nick.
Okay. Most likely to make you laugh harder than anyone else.
Bob Ganoush. Anthony Segretti.
Most likely to win a pie eating contest.
Steve.
Most likely to drive past the job site.
Oh, let's go Jess on that. She's been, I've seen her down the road a couple
track
of times.
record. Most likely to give you the best advice.
My dad.
And last one.
That's a tie between Jake and my dad.
Okay, I was going to say. Last one. Who are you most likely to give the best advice to?
That's a funny line. I like. It's like, take my advice. I'm not using it.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Okay. Okay, some more.
Those are all bad things. What about like good superlatives?
All right, let's come up with some more. Who is most likely to finish their lunch first?
Mike DiBlasi just doesn't eat lunch.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if he does, it's like while he's doing something.
Yeah, that's true. Who, I'll give you two more. Most likely to, if they both started at the same time, finish a standing job first.
We'll go Bob Ganoush. My dad. I got to take my dad out of some of these because he would just win everything.
And who is most likely to, if you called them and said, I want to give you a raise, who is most likely to be like, you should give it to somebody else?
Well, nobody. What are you talking about? I would prefer that go somewhere else. I have plenty of money. No. I'll tell you what. The guys are all very appreciative, and you've met everybody, but just the crew is. There was a time when I thought DiBlasi Painting was like Luke and Jake and my dad, like a fairly substantial time into the business.
Yeah.
And then the realization that like that is so far from the truth. Like the family that we've built is the thing by far. Right? You could take our entire portfolio, shred it, move. If you took this team and dropped it in any neighborhood anywhere, I'm like, we will be the top painting company, and no time.
Yeah, I believe it. Let's kind of go into some more like broad questions. We can always come back to like business stuff too, and if business ties into it, then don't be shy.
I was gonna make a broad joke there, but I stopped.
Don't do it.
I'm the first male guest on the.
Yeah.
So I should probably dodge that.
I have some more lined up. Craig's coming on too,
nice.
So watch what you say. What do you think is the most important thing you have done in your life thus far?
Getting sober got me you back. Getting you back got me the kids. So I will go getting sober.
That's beautiful. Let's talk about becoming a dad.
Okay.
So before all that, I've also obviously been very, very open about like our infertility struggles and my, mental health struggles and body struggles and stuff like during that time. But like we really went through that entire thing together.
Yeah.
You held me on the bathroom floor every single negative pregnancy test I would get. You did every single shot in my side, in my butt, in my leg.
You kept making me have sex with you all the time.
Oh my God, we have to take that out.
Well, we're trying to have a baby.
Yeah, well.
Tough work. Yeah,
oh my God.
Okay, anyway.
Well, to be honest, that's like the part, like, maybe we will leave it in because it's like, yeah, it like should be fun. It should be everyone talks about like.
It was a change of what that was.
Yeah, it's like a programming kind of like small little window. When you try to have a baby, you realize how freaking hard it actually is.
Well, for us, it's not like that for everybody.
Yeah, of course. So, which brings me to just infertility in general. So 1 in 6 worldwide deal with that. So we tried everything we possibly could. Ultimately, we went to IVF. Can you tell me about the moment that you realized our like infertility struggles were over and you found out we were pregnant?
Yeah. We were at Hoofbrand and we had done the IVF transfer and you were supposed to wait and shocker of shockers, with all of your patience that you have and the willingness to be told what to do, did not wait, and then took like 3 or 4 tests. I did not know this at the time. And then I came through. You were like, I was having like a crazy day, and I was like going to work like that night, which you knew already. But I was like, all right, I was in between. I was just going to go right there. You're like, I need you to come home for something. But you played it. Like, I had no idea. I was like pissed off. I'm like, I gotta take care. Like, I had somewhere I had to be. I had like promised somebody something was going to be done by the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
So I come home, and you're like, I'm in the bedroom, and I go in, and you had like a little paint can, I think, with like a little couple chip brushes. And did you have the DiBlasi painting? Yeah, you had the DiBlasi painting onesie at that stage, and whatever, and the positive test there on the bed. And yeah, I just gave you a big hug and just held you for a couple minutes, and it was. I never didn't think we were gonna get pregnant. You know what I mean?
You feel like you always.
I think I started to rationalize in my head. I think it gets back to like kind of what I was talking about. Like, if I don't have control over something,
Yeah.
I'm just only going to give it so much energy.
Yeah.
So like for you, the experience I was certainly more impactful. The bigger part of the experience for me was making sure that I was there for you than it was like me emotionally being wrecked by it. Because I just started to rationalize a little bit. Like, well, we have the business. I have all these nephews and nieces. Like, I love being an uncle. Like, I'll be the best freaking uncle ever. And then like I'll focus the business on the business, and this will be what it is, right? And so, but walking through that day obviously changed all that. But it was beautiful. You were so happy, and like that was amazing. And then, like the realization of what that was going to be, that didn't hit me until Bennett was born, right? Yeah. So like in a positive way. So like I've also told you this, like I don't really get excited about stuff. I just like I experienced the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that experience was really cool. The way you did that, the way you did Coco's was even more shocking to me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which
was both surprises. Well, because
I think you put like a Big Brother thing on Bennett,
on
right?
him, yeah, and you like lifted him up, and you were like, "What does your shirt say?" There's videos of both of them. But yeah, it's like
check the show notes.
For me, it was just so hard because it was something that we wanted like so desperately, and the element of surprise was taken out of so much of it, like knowing that like I would never be able to surprise you and get your reaction and like feel that excitement kind of. So that's kind of like the the reason behind like the surprise behind it.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh my gosh, we're already on to the next page. Yeah. What do you think is harder than you anticipated about being a dad? And what do you think is easier?
The energy output for me, like, okay, so I remember watching Ryan with Ellie.
Yeah.
And she was, I don't know, 3 or 4 before we had kids. And you might have been pregnant at the time. I think we were up there for a birthday party. And I just remember watching, we were sitting around and like I was playing with her a little bit, but then I was also just chilling. But he was I remember watching him just follow her around. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're up and around all the time. That's going to be like so much work. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's just like the cost of doing business. Like it just comes naturally, I think, to most people where it's like, you just get used to that. So I thought that was going to be like a big deal of just like never being able to chill. But like, I don't know, come to find out, like I would rather be playing with them most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
I think what's been more challenging is like, not that I have a temper, but like managing my emotional state and my expectations of really Bennett more than Coco.
Yeah.
Coco kind of gets a free pass in my brain because she's so cute and she's a girl. And whether this is sexist or not, like I have this thing in my brain that like it's my job to make sure Bennett turns into a good man. Yeah. So when Bennett misbehaves in my brain, it's like this is a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And then when this is a problem, like and I just kick into such a serious mode.
Yeah.
And just bringing that down a notch and remembering, because he's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like intellectually, emotionally, he's not, right? Yeah. And so like I will put his intellectual smartness into you're overreacting to this situation. You need to calm down. And it's like, yes, he is. And he will eventually.
Yeah.
He just does not have the tool set and like in his heart. Yeah. Even if he has it in his brain,
Yeah.
he just can't he can't bring it down a notch. So I will overreact. And then as he's getting older, like, for example, I don't know if you've noticed recently, like if I raise my voice, he immediately goes like, "Wow, what's going on?" And I'm like, and then I'll get worked up. And then it's just like, but if I'm like, even if I'm disciplining him, but I'm calm about it, it's like, it's just, you get a much smaller reaction. So probably just putting less pressure on him and just managing my own emotions with him in like split second formats. The only other thing I'll say is like, as a grown up, like parent language here, but like as a grown up, like you don't have people just look you in the face and be like, no. You're like, no, you have, you have to do this. Like, no. And then I'm going to do exactly the opposite thing that you just told me not to do.
Yeah.
So you have to like learn that too for yourself, where it's like, all right, this is a different thing, right? So I'm presently struggling with that.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. We both are. We're just trying. We have good intentions, but it's
poor children are being tortured by us.
What do you hope they see in you when they're old enough to like really understand what you do? Maybe like in business, but also like as a dad. Like, what do you hope that they remember or see in you? Or
well, those are two different things, very distinctly. So I'll address both of them one at a time. So I learned from my dad the value of hard work. That dude outworked everybody. You talk to anybody that's ever worked with him, and he's just like, your dad was a beast, is a beast, right? Still to this day. So like, I took that and ran with it as well. I think the adjustment that I've made is like, me and my dad are just different people. So like the work that I started by like, okay, I'm going to trade my time for money, right? And then over time have been able to build a business. And then there's not so much of that. But that instilled like the value of hard work being instilled in me from him is like my biggest takeaway. So one of my fears is because the kids don't see me out there coming home covered in dust, covered in paint, stinking to high heaven on a hot day, like
the way that you used to.
That they're not going to necessarily know that. So I want to make sure that they know that their dad works hard. Yeah. Because I want them to look up to me the way I look up to my dad in that regards. From a dad perspective, like, I just want them to know that they're loved. And that, like, I just love them. Like, that's it. Just for who they are. Yeah. So, because I had that. Yeah. I think that's just at the end of the day, knowing you have a place that's safe. Yeah. And that, like, as you are. Yeah. Like this Nirvana line, come as you are. Yeah. And it's like, that's it. Like, we'll take you. Yeah. So, that's really it. Yeah.
Let's talk about running.
Oh.
You've run over 7 marathons.
If you count the longer ones as marathons,
in 5 years. Okay. First one, we trekked all the way to Lake Placid.
Do you remember the deal that we made, by the way?
I was 8 months pregnant.
No, yeah, you were.
In August.
Yeah. And hold on, we trekked all the way. You make it sound like we rode horses up there.
What, if you finish, then I get to name the baby?
No, no, that's what it turned into.
Okay.
No, yes. For everybody at home, there was a deal that we made.
I don't remember.
It was in like April. We were just found out you were pregnant or something like that. And I was like, all right, well, and your sister and dad both had run multiple marathons. So I was like, it was kind of in my brain from them. And then, I was like, well, if I finish, I was like, I'm going to run a marathon before the baby's born. Because I was like, because I'm not going to have as much time. Yeah. And you're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. And you're like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'll tell you what, if I run a marathon before the baby's born, I get to name the baby. And you're like, deal. And like the next day I was out running. And then, then it was, I don't think it was in August. I think it was in July or June.
It might have been. Well, he was born in September. Yeah. And I was 8 months pregnant.
You were certainly pregnant. You were noticeably pregnant.
Yeah.
But, did not get to name the baby. Bennett's name was not my idea. Just saying.
Yeah, but you love it.
Yes, I do. No, it's good. It just, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's go back to like running, like the
Running,
whole purpose
sorry.
of no. So, out of every possible way to push yourself physically, why running?
It's easy in the sense you can just go do it. Like it doesn't require. So like I also had like a weight training stage that was pretty long for like 3 years, kind of in the middle there. That I was much bigger, stronger looking than I am now. But it never gave me that head clearing that happened. So like my brain fires constantly for whatever reason. And sometimes it's, 30 seconds into the run, or sometimes it's an hour and a half into a run. It's just like I hit a stage where it's like, poof.
Yeah.
And it's not that like my brain's not going. It's almost just more like everything flattens out and levels, and everything's just like I can just be right here.
Yeah.
And also when it's like really hard and challenging, you do not have time for anything else in your brain. So it's just like, this hill sucks. Don't stop.
Right.
Keep going.
Right.
Keep
It's
going.
almost like you like maybe not look forward to it, but like that's why maybe you're not afraid of like that physical pain when it comes running up the hill or running down the hill or wherever it is, because it's like that's your main focus. That's where your brain then goes to, and you can't focus on anything else.
Yeah, it's honestly, there's like a mental health component for myself as well, which like I mean, how many times have we been in an argument and you've been like, maybe you should go for a run? Have you thought about going for a run?
You're like, maybe you should have a snack.
Yeah, you eat something, I'll run. This thing will be over before it's done. We'll come back in 30 minutes. I'll be sweaty. You'll be full. We'll be chill.
It works.
Yeah.
Your 50-mile ultra.
Yeah.
How does somebody prepare, train mentally, physically? I mean, like your training was running a marathon. Like a few weekends before.
Yeah.
You ran the Millbrook Marathon to train for your 50-mile ultra.
Yeah.
Okay. Like maybe for somebody who doesn't understand like runner's high, let's go that avenue.
Okay.
What does like runner's high feel like? Or like the preparation of like, just how do you get your brain to get in that place of like, okay, well, we're doing this. So
I was running. I had Tony, my cousin in Vegas.
Yeah.
In November, reached out and he's like, dude, I want to run a marathon by the end of the year. And we had just bought this house. I hadn't been running at all because I've been working nights over here getting ready. And so I hadn't been running at all. And he was like, hey, I want to run this marathon. I'm like, that sounds great. I can't do it before the end of the year. I'm not in good enough shape. So we ended up running it in early March. Because of that, it was freezing cold, and I'm a baby with being cold, although I ran a lot outside this winter. The right gear makes a big difference. So I was doing a lot of running on the treadmill. I just was like bored of listening to podcasts. And so I just started watching YouTube documentaries and like came across an ultra running documentary. And then, so like they're doing like, there's 50Ks, 50 miles, 100Ks, 100 miles. And there's like some of these crazy ones, which are like 200 plus. Yeah. And so you're like sitting there watching that documentary and you're like on mile 3 on the treadmill and you're like, I want to quit. And then you're like, you look up at the screen and this dude's on mile 197 and you're like, well, I think I can keep running without using the expletive curse words that are sitting in my brain right now to talk about myself. So that's kind of where it started. As far as like the mindset goes, it's like if you make a decision to do something, you have to do it. So it's like, if you can't trust yourself once you make the decision to do something, who can you trust? B, who's going to trust you? So it's like, that's it.
Was there ever a point in any of the runs or marathons that you wanted to give up?
No, there hasn't been one yet. There has been like that March marathon with Tony, and that was at elevation, and I overcarbed on it, and my stomach absolutely blew up. Just pain wise, just a crazy amount of gas. Yeah. You saw me after that race. I was trashed. Yeah. Like you should see me after Millbrook Marathon. I looked like we talked on the phone afterwards. Like, you sound good. I'm like, yes, that was not normal what happened at the end of the other one.
Yeah, right.
So that one, I just was like, that was an interesting spot because it hit me at like mile 20, started at like 18, got bad by like 22, and then 22 to 26.2 was just like
Yikes.
That part of me wanted that, like not that particular problem, but like, okay, what do you do when it gets horrible?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that marathon was cool. It was a small field. It was only like 35 people running that marathon. And I was like way out in first place.
Yeah.
And so not like a normal marathon, I would have absolutely no chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then my stomach just got crushed. And like, and I just felt people coming up behind me. I ended up coming in second, but like just to know that like, okay, I don't know how it would have gotten worse than that.
Yeah.
And to keep going at that stage, because that's definitely part of doing this in my brain is like, what can you handle?
Yeah.
Like how tough are you? How mentally tough are you?
Yeah.
And so it was, I feel looking back on it, I feel genuinely blessed to have like had that experience of like, okay, well, here's one extraordinarily bad problem.
Yeah.
How are you going to finish? And like, it didn't stop. Like I slowed my pace, but like I ran through the finish line. So.
That you did.
Yeah.
Well, I have 3 questions that I ask every single guest.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, first 4 years of this business of DiBlasi Painting.
Yeah. Second question. Someone out there watching has a passion, but they have no money, no support, like nothing. They know they need to change. You know, who they're hanging out with is not so great, or they're stuck in a relationship. What do you tell them?
I mean, I'm probably not the best person for relationship advice, so I'll just go like business route on it.
Why do you say that?
Oh, because like I don't have like general, like I would, if I sit down with somebody and like they tell me all their problems and like I'd be happy to like sit there and like give advice on that. But like as a general relationship advice, okay.
You're great with relationship advice. We went through.
Well, yeah, okay. So then I'll give a piece of relationship advice and then I'll give a piece of business advice.
Yeah.
As if you're looking for a partner, find someone that has the same values as you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have the same interests. It doesn't matter if they're as tall as you want or as good looking as you want, or like you have to be reasonably attracted to this human being, and you have to want the same general things in your life, right? And value the same general things. So like for me and you, I'm more than reasonably attracted to you. And like what are our priorities? Like our friends and our family, and like we're not, and like we don't have a ton of the same interests.
No.
But like when it comes to the people that we want to be, the way that we want to be there for our friends, and the type of people that we want in our life and our family, it's like we're completely on the same page. So you're not going to find 2 individuals that are much more different than you and I.
Yes.
But like at the end of the day, like we're coming at it from 2 different spots.
Yeah.
And looking at it in 2 different ways, but we're both trying to go to the same spot.
Right.
Do you want the business piece?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll run this thing for like 3 hours. You better watch out.
No, give me the business piece.
I kind of started on it before, but like, if you are passionate about doing something, start doing it for free until you can convince people to pay for it, and then say yes to everything until you don't have time to say yes anymore. And just like you're gonna have to work harder than everybody else that's established. So like it's not supposed to be easy. So like shut up. It's grind. Like grind it out. Like we got to where we are because I worked 12 to 14 hours a day for 6 days a week or more than that for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. Again, you don't have to do it that way, but like if you don't have an advantage, just put in more time. You got to get more reps faster than somebody else. Mm-hmm. So.
Who has never given up on you? Maybe even when you gave up on yourself?
Yeah, certainly my mom and dad, you know? So like my mom's always, I think if I was still drinking today, my mom would still love me and be proud of me. Right. So, my mom for sure. And then you never really, I mean, like you were put in a position where I put you in a position where like you had to step away for a time, but like, as soon as I made the adjustments that I needed to in my life, like you never fully closed that door. And so I was able to sneak back in and make it work.
I have maybe one more question. Maybe two more questions.
Where are all the Instagram questions?
So here we go.
Okay.
So there's only going to be one because
Okay.
we can't go on forever and ever and ever. But this one's about me.
Okay.
Because there were a lot about like our dynamic
Okay.
and like all of that stuff. But
People want the down low.
I'm also curious about this too.
Right. Pull my shorts down. I'm showing up those
Milky White.
milky
empathize.
whites.
Okay, so this is from Besmira. We work together at Serhant, and she asked, what is it like living with a wife that has 24/7 lab puppy energy?
When you first said that, I was thinking like lab puppy, like what, like meat in the lab? It's helpful a lot of the time. First of all,
Helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it's not helpful, so like the house, we had the DiBlasi painting party. I was showing a couple of the guys, the bathroom, and they like walked into the bedroom. And they're like, "Yo, it's so clean in here."
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, so like the house is always clean. The kids are always taken care of. There's always lunch made. There's always a plan for tomorrow. My job when maybe that energy is going a little haywire is to just stay out of your way. So like we've had this fight 45 times, right? But like I'm like super empathetic, so I will get like, she seems like she's like all over the place. I need to like help out. Let me just like ask her if she's okay, give her a hug. And it's like, back off. Like the dog's got the zoomies. Let the dog run at her zoomies. Everything's gonna be fine afterwards. So it's like that is, but it's just recognition of like, it's not even a weakness. It's because it's also a strength. It's just it's a character trait. So it's just like, and when this thing's a little bit extra turned up, like back off.
Well, it's literally taken us, we've been married for 7 years. We just celebrated 7 years and married, but together since 2013. And we like just figured this out like a couple years ago where you're like in these moments, like you just said, like, I just want to help. And I'm like, I love you. Like, I need you. Can you just take the kids and go outside and let me just finish what I'm doing, whether it's like cooking or cleaning or like, I don't know, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, having a cup of coffee, taking a deep freaking breath. Like, now you know. It's
well,
just
you don't
not
do
even.
that. You don't take a deep breath until after everybody goes to sleep.
That's
so,
very true.
Yeah. But all the other stuff, No, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, there's things like that about me, right? Where it's just
of
like,
course.
but you just learn to. The other thing is like, you say that like it's taken us 13 years. Like, we're also such different people than we were when we first got together. So like the problems, it's like as soon as you check one off the list, one of you changes, and then you gotta like, all right, this dynamic's different than it was, so we need to figure this out. And then right, but like, you know, how different are we both after having kids, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so you take it one problem at a time, but at the end of the day, like, it gets back to, if I can't change you, how do I just best manage the situation then at that stage? Right.
Right.
It's because like, it's not my job to tell you to chill out. It's my job to just.
No, it's certainly not.
No, unless I feel like losing my head, like
sleeping outside. Not even on the couch.
It's my job to just be here for you, right? And so like, as a partner to somebody else, right? Like as your husband, like there's a bunch of roles that I fulfill, but one of them is just to emotionally support you, right? And so when the puppy dog energy is awesome, it's like, it's my job to cheer you on. And when the puppy dog energy is, you're biting the couch, that kind of puppy dog, it's just like, I'm gonna let her finish biting the couch. We'll talk about the couch later. She's gonna bite me if I grab her off the couch.
That's cute, babe.
Yeah.
Well, before we close out, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say about anything at all?
I would say, for anybody that doesn't know you and like the journey that you've been on in the last, like, let's say 6 months, 8 months, whatever this has been, like, I want you to know how wildly proud of you I am. And like for us to be sitting here doing this right now, for this to be 10 episodes in, for you to have come up with this idea, and then within the next 10 days, you were shooting your first episode, you know, like the amount of chaos and change that's occurred in the last year of your life, the grace with which you've handled that, like, I'm very proud of you. And I love you.
I love you too.
You didn't even cry.
No, I didn't. Thank you. That
You're
means the world. Where can people find you?
Here. This is my house. They can call me. Text Meg. She'll give you my number. At DiBlasi Painting on Instagram. Luke at DiBlasi Painting. Shoot me an email if you want to get a quote. Yeah, that's it. We're easy.
Okay. Well, I'm Megan DiBlasi from Serhant, and here with Luke DiBlasi. Thank you for coming on Homegrown.
Let's go.
We did it.
Good
Thanks,
job.
guys. Yay.
Good job.
Good job, babe. Proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
That was fun.
That was fun. You should keep doing this.
Oh, yeah?
How'd we do time-wise?
My longest one yet.